Awesome. Welcome back to the channel. Today at review we have the new 30th anniversary of Street Sharks Wave 2 action figures. Also wanted to show off this piece of art that I did based off of the animation for Big Slamoo. Alright, so as you can see, I finally got in my new Streaks figure. He looks awesome. There are some minor damage with him, but we'll get to that when we go over the figure. I already had Big Slamoo. I got him from Mattel Creations. You should have seen that in my Mattel Creations video that I posted a few days ago. And Dr. Paranoid I've had since Christmas, so you could also see him in my Christmas toy haul video. We're going to start off with Dr. Paranoid because he's the first figure that I got for Wave 2. So let's move the other two off to the side. Excuse me, I have a little bit of the hiccups. Here we have Dr. Paranoid. He comes with this silver hook attachment. His action feature is a little button on his back that you press, and you can turn him into Dr. Paradigm, and then into Dr. Paranoid. His overall design is kind of like a scuba suit design. He's got this cool robotic arm over here, which actually does have another action feature. So you just push this projectile in, and then you can shoot it off. It's actually pretty powerful. I don't think it's quite powerful enough to knock over a Street Shark character. Let's bring in Jab and see if you can knock him over. Nope, not quite. It actually bounced back and hit Dr. Paranoid, so technically he's the one that got shot. Anyway, gonna move Jab off to the side and go over the articulation for Dr. Paranoid. He is a little bit different than the Street Sharks. So his elbow is a single jointed elbow. I'm going to remove this piece from his hand. Goodness, that's a tight grip. So his elbow is a single jointed elbow. Goes in and out as well as side to side. His arms go up, or this arm goes up and down. The other side's a little bit different because it's a robotic arm. Got a swivel at the wrist, and it's supposed to be a hinge at the wrist. It's not moving, so there is a hinge at the wrist. You can see that right there, but it's not moving. I do not have any hot water on hand, so I'm just going to avoid that just in case it might break. This robotic arm can go outwards, forwards, backwards. It does have an elbow style joint, so it can bend all the way up and all the way down. This little piece spins at the wrist, I guess what you could consider that. And then you have the secondary part, which I just showed you with the action feature. Chest goes side to side and rolls all around. You got an ab crunch, goes backwards and forwards, all around. I think it's a ball joint inside there. Like I said, the head articulation is basically just the action feature. The legs can go forwards about that far, backwards about that far. Wow. It's supposed to be bent at the knee, but it's not bending once again, and I'm not going to break him on camera or off camera. Here's the articulation for the ankle. Goes forwards and backwards, as well as rocks side to side with just a little bit. Let's see about this side. Bend at the knee. There we go. So the knee does bend about that much on both sides because it is an identical sculpt, just opposite sides. And the ankle goes up and down, and then rocks side to side. So overall, he's a pretty cool looking figure. We can bring him in for some close-ups. Here we have his under bodysuit with the zipper down here at the crotch. We have the zipper on the front. We have these chains and little metal pads on his legs. We have these neon yellow knee pads and bottoms of his boots with these cool boot-like textures on the bottom. We have another bit of yellow up here, some more silvers. Got a cool piece of piping coming down here. In the back, you can see the zipper continues. It's just not painted silver. Here's the button which makes the head turn, so you just press that in like that, and when you hear the click is when it actually moves the head. Overall, decent design. It's lacking a lot of paint application, but it's pretty cool overall. So there's Dr. Paradine and or Dr. Piranoid. We're going to move him off to the side and show off my favorite / second favorite street shark, Big Slamoo. So here we have Big Slamoo. As you can see, he is, wow, very big. With his arms stretched out from hand to hand, he is exactly 12 inches long. So that's a very, very wide wingspan. His hands are actually so long, in fact, that they do touch the ground when he is standing up. He has these cool football pants and knee pads. His action feature is you lift this arm and it slams down. So we're going to bring in Dr. Piranoid once more and show off how the action feature works. Pretty cool. Basically, the articulation is the same on him as it is on Streaks and Jab and Ripster. So if you've seen the Wave 1 review, you'll kind of know that it's bend at the elbow, swivel at the elbow, hinge at the shoulders, hinge at the wrists, swivel at the wrists. Head / waist can turn side to side. Legs can go forwards just a little bit because he's got these stubby legs. Backwards a bit. Does have a tiny bit of a drop joint, but not very much. You have, let's see. You have bend at the knee. Very, very tiny knees. You have hinge at the ankles, as you can see right here, as well as rocker. He does stand pretty good, even with his arm stretched straight out. So if you want to click this arm until it goes straight out, you can. So he does stand even in that type of position. In fact, he can actually hold another character above his head. I did that before when I was messing around with the figures, so let me see if I can show you that on camera. Come on, click. There we go. So now let's bring in Slash. See if he can hold him. Hold on. I don't remember how I did it, but he can hold him up if you just balance it right. There we go. Let's back the camera up just a bit. There we have Big Slamoo holding Slash over top of his head. So that's pretty cool. We're going to go ahead and take Slash down and go over the rest of the articulation on this side. So the knee can bend really, really good on this side. Once again, the legs go forwards and backwards. Ankle articulation is pretty stiff on this side. Overall, he's pretty cool looking. He has silver spots on the tops of his head. And he has brown skin with a off-white to yellow belly and mouth area. As you can see, the details in his mouth. He is missing a tooth there. One thing I do want to mention is he is missing some paint here. It rubbed off the teeth. I'm pretty sure that was already there when I got him. And there is some paint slop where they did a little bit too much paint on the mouth here. So you can see that on camera. Mouth does open. He has a very, very funny looking head when you open his mouth. Anyhow, he looks pretty cool. Here's the back details. See a bit of his spine protruding, all these weird muscle textures and veins. Tiny little stumpy legs from the back side. Big Slamoo, super slam. Anyway, he's a pretty cool looking figure. He fits in well with the rest of the Street Sharks. You can see my Street Sharks short if you want to see how they all compare with each other. I'll also be doing a comparison at the end of this video, which will include a vintage Super Slamoo. So they are slightly different. Now let's bring in my boy Streaks, who is definitely my most favorite Street Shark from the cartoon. I mean, who couldn't love a handsome shark like this? I mean, come on. Look at that fin. Anyway, he is the tiger shark, and he is the smallest and I do believe youngest of the group. He's a rollerblader, and he has these cool fingerless gloves. He's got this large orange fingernail hand on this side and a regular hand on this side. In the package, he just comes with the smaller hands, but he does come with 2 interchangeable hands. We'll go over that in just a second. Overall, he's pretty cool looking. His mouth does open just like the other sharks. He has a very pointy nose in comparison to the other sharks. He does not have any ankle to articulation because of the rollerblades, but he does roll pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate that. But he doesn't go too far to where I'm not worried about pushing him off the table. Even if I push him to this side, I doubt that he'll go all the way off. Like, he stops in enough time most of the time. See? Very, very close to the edge, but not quite to the edge. So, pretty cool looking. Very nice detail on the eyes, nostrils. I also did do a drawing of him, but I did not bring it in to show you guys in this video. I might bring it in later in a different video. He has a slightly different tannish, like whitish blue right here on the front of his face and on his nose, and then more of a Tar Heel blue on the rest of his body. He's got these nice purple stripes to represent the tiger stripes. He has these cool yellow pants with like this old feed sack style texture to it, and it's done a very, very bright yellow. He's got some peach knee pads. It doesn't really come across as peach on camera, but it's definitely peach. There you can see the difference between the claws and the knee pads. He has blue-ish turquoise straps on his black rollerblades. And then he has 2 yellow wheels on each blade that are actually articulated to where they can spin, which helps him to roll. And the other wheels are just sculpted in black. Let's go ahead and go over the articulation for him. So his arms can go outwards. They can go forwards, backwards. You have a bend at the elbow here. So I don't know if you can see that. He definitely has some weird looking arms. Like, it's just like a fat bicep, tricep, and shoulder combo with like a very short forearm. But it still bends and articulates pretty cool and pretty well. Here you have the articulation on the wrist, hinge in and out, swivel around. We'll show you the articulation on the other hands in just a second. This side, the elbow is actually pretty loose. That's one of the defects that I was talking about. I ordered him from Amazon, so I expected something to be wrong with him. I have never received a figure in good condition from Amazon. There's always at least one scratch, one paint app mistake, something wrong with the articulation, the package is damaged. I've never got a perfect figure from Amazon, so I don't really recommend ordering from them, but he was only in stock on Amazon and Walmart, and he was cheaper on Amazon than Walmart, so I went ahead and bought him. He looks pretty cool, though, overall. The wrist is also very loose on this side, so that's another bummer. Waist articulation is good. Legs can go forwards. Legs can go backwards. Bend at the knee. Not very far, but still bending just the same. Like I said, nothing at the ankle, so to swivel the ankle, you also have to swivel the knee. That does kind of make it hard for dynamic posing for him skating without ankle articulation, but that's fine. I'm going to go ahead and remove the hands and show you how they're interchangeable. So you just give a little bit of pressure pulling away from it, and it has the standard Masterverse He-Man style peg. So you can't interchange this with a Masterverse figure. I'm going to move this off the side and bring in the other extended claw hand. So basically for both the extended claw hands, they just take the regular hands and then extend the claws. Everything else about the hands are exactly the same. This side you have like a weird gripping, clawing at you hand. Claws look really good overall. There's a little bit of paint slop on this one. Or I wouldn't call it slop, but just like under application to where you can still see a bit of blackish gray coming through the orange paint. Same thing on some of the other claws. But overall, these claws look pretty cool. This is how Mattel replicated the vintage action feature on the character. He used to have spring-loaded claws, kind of like Wolverine. But they just did interchangeable hands instead. So this is still an action feature figure, even though it doesn't have the claws, because the jaw articulation and the skates make him action feature figure. Like I said, I can just remove these just like that. Wow, that's tight. And I can put in the regular hand for this side. Here we have the regular hand on the figure, and then the extended claw hand on the other side. I'll be displaying my figure with this extended claw on this side and this regular claw on this side. But overall, they look pretty cool hand-wise. So I'm just going to go ahead and read the bio for this Streaks figure. The little blurb that tells you about the characters is the same as the one from the Wave 1 figure, so I'm just not going to read that. Here it says for the action feature, you can press the fin to make me bite, push me on a flat, hard surface to make me skate. And then number 2 is remove hands and swap them for my combat claws. Down here, here's the bio. Name, Streaks, Moto, cut to the quick. 411 file. Slick, quick, and fast. He's got a tiger in his tank for turbocharged moves. Thinks fast, skates faster. Street skills. Skates at incredible speeds with tricks so sweet they'll make you weep. Claws slash, teeth gash as he spins at 2000 RPM in a blur of savage stripes. Main chews, stereos, turbochargers, stopwatches, chain link fences, and hot dogs. Here you have the not suitable for ages 0 to 3 due to small parts. Unlike the other one where it said, like the way they worded it in the other one was kind of weird. But this one actually makes more sense. It says also available, each sold separately and subject to availability. Colors and decorations may vary, which is very true because the first big Slamu that I found had some major color issues, so I did not purchase him and ordered directly from Mattel Creations. Here's the cross-sell, Dr. Paranoid, Big Slamu, Jab, Slash, and Ripster. This does not include the 30th anniversary exclusive figure from SDCC, but that's to be expected to not have that included. Waves 3 and 4 should be coming out this fall. That will include Killamari, a different version of Ripster, a boxing version of Big Slamu, Manta Man, and Moby Lick. There might be another one I can't really remember right now. Oh, Slopster, he'll also be released. So you'll complete the very core Seviants and then get some variants for the main heroes. And then, of course, Moby Lick's pretty much one of the main heroes. I'm going to go ahead and do a comparison time. So I'm going to move this off to the side and compare the new Street Sharks figures with the vintage figures. So here we have Big Slamu back in the frame. And here is a vintage Super Slamu. So here's how they scale together. They're pretty much the same scale. This one is bigger, but not by much. Muscles are just as cool. I hope they release this one in the 30th anniversary lineup. I'm sure they will. As you can see, the details on the face are very different. Where this is smooth, this one's got a lot more sculpted detail. And this is not the soft rubber. This is a very hard rubber. And it does not have the action feature. His action feature was a spring-loaded missile that can be activated with this little peg. Right now, I've just got a $2 bill stuffed up in his missile hole. The articulation for the vintage one is just arms go up and down, waist twists. That's it. And then, if of course, you have like the mouth that you can stretch open on these, and then the articulated jaws with the fins on the main characters. So there's that. Let's bring in all the characters, and I'm going to zoom out for a group shot. I'm going to do the Sevients on this side, and then I'm going to do all the main heroes on the other side. So just going to set that up real quick and just continue talking as I do so. Here we go. I'm just putting up Jab and the other Ripster, and then we'll be done. So here we go. Here's the last figure in the lineup. So here you have the group shot with all the figures that they've released so far, along with the vintage figure. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Peace.